As you might know or not know, Hell in a Cell is my favorite pay-per-view, and I'm really excited it's the next pay-per-view. The way I would book it. Now start the show with the match between Seth Rollins and Cesaro, or Cesaro as Seth Rollins calls him, in a no-holds-barred match. We saw Seth Rollins attack Cesaro after the main event at WrestleMania Backlash, and it's obvious that this feud is going to happen. It's going to be a good match, we all know it, and I'm happy Cesaro isn't just being dropped. He's still in the upper mid card. I'd have Cesaro win no holds barred match. Fans would be interested, fans wouldn't just tune off because of how horrible the opening match was. And I'd have that open the show. We'll move on to the second match on the show, Apollo Crews vs Sami Zayn. Now it's clearly obvious that they are going to have a feud. He's having a fatal 4-way match on SmackDown later this week, and it's between Big E, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn and himself. I see Apollo retaining the championship here, and he and Sami Zayn have a feud after that. Sami attacks him after the match, which leads to a feud between Sami Zayn and himself. I don't really see many challengers for Apollo Crews, maybe Kevin Owens, but I prefer Sami Zayn versus Apollo Crews. I hope the match between Apollo and Sami isn't on SmackDown but at Hell in a Cell. I think it would be a really good match, and I'd have Apollo Crews retain his championship. Now moving on to the next match for the Raw Women's Championship. Instead of having Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley, a match that no one would really care about, I'd have Rhea Ripley take on Shayna Baszler. Now, Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are no more tag team champions. Instead, it's Tamina and Natalya. The most boring tag team. I don't know how WWE came up with it. But I'm happy Shayna is not a tag champion so that she can focus on the Raw Women's Championship. I think WWE could have Rhea Ripley versus Shayna Baszler, Hell in a Cell match. No one really wants to see Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley. It's kind of obvious Rhea Ripley is going to win. Even though Shayna won't win this match, at least she'll be in the Raw Women's Championship picture. Nobody wants to see Charlotte versus Ripley, but I'd have a match between Shayna Baszler and Rhea Ripley. Hell in a Cell match. Both of these wrestlers are talented. We've always wanted to see Shayna Baszler get pushed. We'll move on to the fourth match on the show for the United States Championship. I'd have Sheamus face the charismatic enigma Jeff Hardy. WWE aren't using Jeff in the right way, and he's being underutilized. He should be used properly. A match with Sheamus at a pay-per-view could elevate Jeff Hardy. Even if Jeff Hardy doesn't win this match, at least he's having a match at a pay-per-view. At least he isn't irrelevant and losing to wrestlers like Jinder Mahal. I'd have a last man standing match between Jeff Hardy and Sheamus. I want to see stipulations being used properly. I don't want to see shows with just one stipulation. I want to see tons of stipulations. And I would love to see a last man standing match. We haven't got it for a while. Jeff Hardy versus Sheamus, last man standing. Even though Sheamus wins, at least Jeff Hardy got a pay-per-view match. Now we'll move on to the SmackDown Women's Championship. We're gonna get Bayley versus Belair rematch, blah blah blah. No one really cares. I would have Banks return though. I would have Banks versus Bayley versus Belair. Triple threat match. Not a Hell in a Cell match. Nothing special. Just a normal match between the three. I think they can put a really good match between each other. All three are top-notch wrestlers. I think they'll have a really good match. Now I'd have Belair retain obviously. I'd have up in Bayley and not Banks, seen as Banks is the top wrestler in the company, and I think Banks is going to win the Money in the Bank contract. And the match being a triple threat makes it a no disqualification, so I think it'll be a really good match between the three. Now the sixth match on the show, I would have a match between the Mysterios, the newly crowned SmackDown Tag Team Champions, taking on the Alpha Academy of Otis and Chad Gable. I find the Alpha Academy quite entertaining. I think they are a pretty good tag team, and maybe even future SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Now the reason I'd have this match is so that the tag titles can be defended at a pay-per-view. And the Mysterios, they're going to be a really entertaining tag team. We all know it. They're just so likable, and they might even save the tag division. So match between the Alpha Academy and the Mysterios I think is perfect for Hell in a Cell. Now I'll move on to both the main title matches. Now instead of having Drew McIntyre versus Lashley again, I think I'd have Lashley take on Randy Orton. Now this RK Bro thing, not a fan. I think they should break up pretty soon. I'd have Randy Orton take on Bobby Lashley in a Hell in a Cell match. No one wants to see Drew versus Lashley again. So I'd have a match between these two. It's something new. Do you really want to see Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley? I definitely don't want to see that match. I'd rather watch a match between Santos Escobar and Jordan Devlin. At least it's something new. Or maybe Cameron Grimes versus Santos Escobar. At least it's something new and not the same thing again. So I would love to see Randy Orton take on Bobby Lashley. It didn't happen at WrestleMania Backlash. At least give it to us at Hell in a Cell. WWE, I would book it that way. Randy Orton takes on Bobby Lashley in a Hell in a Cell match. Lashley retains, but it'll be an amazing match as we all know. The main event. Now, last year at Hell in a Cell, we got Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. Arguably one of the better matches on the show. I think WWE could recreate it here. The Usos in Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns handicap match in a cell for the first time ever. I'm pretty sure for the first time ever. A handicap match for the Universal Championship. We get a segment where Jey Uso tells Roman Reigns he no more wants to be his right hand man and that he's done with Roman Reigns. He no more wants to be Roman Reigns' right hand man. We get a handicap match between the Usos and Roman Reigns. I think it'll be a really good match. We saw the storytelling in the previous match between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. And with the Usos both together, I think it'll be a really good match. I think it'll be the match of the night. Roman Reigns obviously retains. And if the Usos lose, they both have to be his right hand man. He'll mostly get Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell match. But I don't want to see that. I want to see something different. You might be saying it's copying last year having a match where both become his right hand man. But I don't see anything else for the Usos if they aren't his right hand man. And I think it would make a really good storyline like last time. I know it's not something different, but WWE could show a story where he wants everyone in his family to acknowledge him. Roman wants to be the head of the table and he can't have the Usos coming in his way. Now after the match, after Roman wins, he's celebrating and stuff. The WWE officials are lifting up the cage and Seth Rollins' music hits. They have a stare down. Seth Rollins says embrace the vision, and that ends off the show, helping towards the build towards SummerSlam, where Seth Rollins takes on Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship, probably in the main event, unless it's a better match for the WWE Championship. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. How would you book Hell in a Cell? Bye.